Good morning, everybody. It is June 2nd. It is Tuesday. I woke up, looked at my YouTube channel for yesterday's comments and whatnot, and I realized yesterday I said Tuesday tea. Yesterday was Monday. Obviously, I was thinking a day ahead because of the title. I apologize for that, even though you're probably going to tell me not to worry about it. Sorry. Kind of woke up with some coughing issues and whatnot because of mucus and all that fun jazz that comes with allergies. Um, Somebody had said something about in one of my videos about using nasal spray. I'm not out of my usual stuff. I usually use nasal cord. It's better because it's longer lasting. It lasts 24 hours. What I'm on right now is a generic nasal spray, which only lasts says 12 hours in a box, but in reality, with my issues, it's more like 10 and a half to 11 hours. Um, so when I first wake up, when I first sit up and whatnot, my sinuses are trying to drain. So I have that issue. Um, the second thing I noticed, which was the person, basically the person pointed out what I said wrong, which is my bad. But then the person went on to basically turn it into a polite correction to a rude comment, and I just kind of went, okay, well, yeah, my bad. I didn't know it was a counterfeit 20, um, because everything I read, basically everything I checked out, didn't specify what kind of counterfeit item it was or whatever. It just said a bad check. So I apologize that I didn't know it was a counterfeit 20, which counterfeit 20s I've never come across. They must be a rarity. I've come across a counterfeit $100 bill and I came across a counterfeit $50 bill. Never a 20. So maybe I should be checking my 20s more often than not. So, um, before I continue, I want to read this real quick. I'm trying to incorporate this into my videos now. It is from my calendar, and I know someone's going to ask me what calendar this is, so I'm going to go ahead and show it real quick. It is by Max Lucado, and it's You'll Get Through This perpetual calendar. It is from Dayspring, which a lot of my Christian stuff is from Dayspring. This, oh, I must have got this 2 years ago in Ohio. Because it says right here in the back of the end of this, Gospel Bookstore, Berlin, Ohio, for $11. Okay. You might be able to find it someplace else for cheaper or more expensive. But it's on the back of it. It says, "Follow the Old Testament stories of Joseph to discover how, no matter what happened, we fare fare better. Excuse me. We fare better facing challenges with God's help. Be encouraged by the words and insights of New York Times best-selling author Max Lucado, along with hope-filled scripture as you spend a year seeking encouragement in the times of greatest need." So that's where this comes from. This is basically from Max Lucado. And it says here, resilient people have an anchor, not a piece of iron, but a deep-seated, stabilizing belief in God's sovereignty. That's this morning's little. I'm not going to say I'm not going to do. Well, if I can get my head on straight, I might be able to do this correctly. Not saying that I'm not going to do a daily devotional. I just want to put that in there as a extra. Um, What did I do with it? I got up this morning and I checked mail, which is part of my normal routine. Even though sometimes when I check mail, it's not here yet. Um, Now I don't know if the little package I got from Wish was from yesterday or from this morning. So give me a second while I go try to find that real quick. Because I brought it in the house, I cleaned it up, I got my tea ready, and I forgot what I did with it. No, I'm not. Well, I brought in a package that I found in the mailbox. I can't remember if it was from last night or this morning. And I thought I had it in my pocket, but I'm looking still out in the office. But I didn't see it. Not quite. Nope. It did fall out of my pocket. Oh. Sometimes if I didn't have my head screwed on right, I would wonder what I was doing. Or as my father used to say, if my head was screwed on right, I'd be a dangerous man. Um, my father had a lot of little weird sayings like that. Of course, growing up the way he did in Southside Chicago, you probably had to sound or look tough to not get yourself beat up. Of course, knowing my dad and the way he was in his family, he was well known, basically, from what I understand. If you notice, Jane got a pair of Harry Potter Marauders mugs. I can't remember if she got them or if her sister sent them or what. But these mugs, see all the footprints on them? Those footprints disappear when the mug is cold. I did not mean to use that mug this morning because I was so half awake, half asleep. There's mugs that are sitting in front of the Q rig. Now I got my mug from the cabinet, put it in front of the Q rig, and I had to go fill up the reservoir in the Q rig to basically make my tea. Well, sitting on either side of the Q rig is these mugs. Now, I had got myself a regular white mug, sat it down, and as I was getting ready to put the honey into the bottom of the cup, I started to squeeze the bottle, not even thinking about what cup my honey bottle was over. Yeah, it was over the Marauders mug cup instead of mine. Anywho, I've been waiting for these for a while. As we all know, Wish sometimes takes its time to get stuff to us. In the current crisis, I can understand the delay because customs want to make sure it's safe. In fact, my packaging looked like it was slightly damp at one point in time. Like maybe in customs they spray it down with a disinfectant. I don't know, but the label looked a little discolored. But I brought it in. I washed it, wiped it off with a Purell hand sanitizing wipe. But anyhow, this is what came in today. It's a pair of socks with a wolf on it. Yeah, you know me. I saw the wolf and said that's all I needed to see. They look like ankle socks. In fact, This ought to be interesting. I put on a pair of socks in the morning because my feet get cold. So I just change one sock and excuse my face being in the camera. Yeah, they're definitely ankle socks. Let's see if I can straighten them out. Oh, you can't really see the wolf, but they're cute. I'll probably put the other one on. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. Yes, you're gonna see my white ankles. Sorry, folks. My wife had gotten me a new phone case that did not want to stay in the cradle of my. Alright, anyhow, let's see here. There's a sock right there. Let's see if I can put this in without causing issues. Come on. Sorry, folks. I didn't realize my phone shut off. It had come out of the tripod because of the new case. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Well, I got these socks, and let me flip the phone over. I got these wolf socks from Wish today. Of course, I cleaned off the package and whatnot. Now, my phone has been giving me issues with this tripod because it's a new phone case, and I'm going to show you what it looks, well, the secondary one looks like. If I can get this back in the tripod without problems. Again, I'm sorry because, yes, it feels like it's going to try to pop out. Darn it. It was sitting in there so well until I tried to pick up the tripod and the whole thing decided to... Alright. It's not wanting to go in there, and I don't want to fight with it while I'm trying to record. So I'm going to attempt to rest. I am so sorry. I did not have this. I did not experiment with this to have it planned out. So I'm trying to do this and get you guys to have a good video. And yeah, it seems like it's going to be Murphy's Law. Anybody know Murphy's Law? Do you know the idea of what Murphy's Law is? If it can go wrong, it will. Anyhow, so if I have a duplicate image or a duplicate conversation, I'm sorry. But anyhow, Jerry got me a Kaisley Power case. Now, anybody who knows what Kaisley Power cases are know what I'm talking about. But just to give you an idea of what I'm kind of dealing with, this is a secondary one for hopefully a new phone I'm planning on trying to get myself here in the next month or so. It is basically a iPhone 11 case. But what these are is you can charge you put your phone in the case, and the case has a battery pack of sorts. And you charge up the battery pack, and then if you're on the go and you're like traveling someplace and you don't have time to go plug your phone into a wall, there's a button on the back of the case you hit, and it activates the charging mechanism which charges your phone. This is a pop socket for that other phone. The phone that Jerry got me for this particular phone has the phases of the moon on it because she knows I'm into that stuff. Excuse me. Anyhow, I got up to do my routine and got the socks and went, ooh, is this today's delivery and only the only thing for today, or is this part of yesterday's delivery that I didn't pick up or pull out or realize it was there? I won't know because the mailman, my local mailman, Mondays he comes in late. Tuesdays it could be anywhere in between 10:30 and 12. So when I get done with this, I'll go double check my my mailbox. But as I was trying to say, and didn't realize the phone was recording until a moment ago, I went, "Oh no!" Um, Yesterday, I had a customer come in the store and show me pictures of people who were picketing. They weren't rioting, they weren't doing anything rude, or they were just protesting. That's the word, protesting in front of Sonic. And then they went on to tell me that there's a possible chance of a gathering in front of Harbor Freight here in Rolla, as well as in front of Walmart. Now, as a lot of you probably know if you've been paying attention to the news, which my news lately has either come from internet blogs or internet postings, or local news has come from local people who are always out and about. My regulars, basically. And one of the things that we were discussing yesterday was the fact that a lot of the businesses, especially like Walmart, has been getting hit the worst. And I'm like, why are these people rioting and protesting and basically looting and burning down Walmarts? It's not Walmart's fault what happened. It's not, at least I don't think it was Walmart's fault that happened. If it happened at a Walmart, okay. I can understand if it happened at a Walmart that this is why they're attacking Walmart. But the thing is, the whole situation, whether it was over a counterfeit dollar bill or a counterfeit 20 or a counterfeit or a bad check or whatever, caused the cop to basically attack this man for, and from what I understand, he wasn't even being like rude or anything like that. He wasn't even resisting. So obviously, the gentleman, uh, Floyd, I think the last name was, either A, he didn't know it was a counterfeit 20, or B, he knew it was a counterfeit 20 and got caught and realized there's no reason to resist. Because Kansas City Walmart was looted and whatever, um, I I mean, and then I heard that there was a Walmart 20 miles, 20 minutes, something like that. I'm trying to remember the name of the town and the distance, and I think it was 20 miles. Well, around here, the way some people drive, 20 minutes could be 20 miles. But it was within a good radius of us. And then they were talking about there was going to be a protest in front of Walmart, and because of what happened at the two Walmarts here in Missouri so far that I know about, our mayor was talking about posting National Guardsmen in front of Walmart. And I'm like, that's a little excessive. Now I know a lot of these people and what they've been doing has been a little excessive. But if you're going to post National Guard in front of any building, um, I'm not saying Walmart shouldn't be one of them because obviously they're the one getting attacked. But I personally, the way I think, if I was going to pull National Guard to protect any building, it would be a civil service building, courthouse, governor's mansion, something of the ruling body of people or groups that deal with our laws and our ruling body. And I'm not big in politics, but like the old adage is, you want to deal with a snake, you cut off its head. What is the head of any government system? Not saying that I'm a terrorist or anything like that, but if I was going to basically go after a system, I would go after the head. You know, but that's just the way I think. I mean, I think of worst case scenarios and how to avoid them. Um, Somebody else was talking about um, because of certain circumstances. I don't know what the circumstances was or exactly what it is, but they were talking about President Trump was going to reenact some sort of deal that happened back in the 1800s where um, the president basically activated the military as a police, basically making the country a police state because of some issue that was going on back in the 1800s. Now, I don't think we're going to get that extreme. I mean, it's one thing that we're still dealing with the repercussions or the whole like trying to keep everything going situation with COVID, but now we've got this rioting situation, and it's kind of like, people, come on, all right, yeah, it's a really shitty situation that happened with this Floyd fella, but the individual who basically caused it, the individual who the officer, let's just say, the officer who took the man's life, basically, even though basically used excessive force. He's been removed from his job. He's been incarcerated for it because all evidence basically says there was no need for it. The arrest, maybe, but the whole force issue, no, it wasn't needed. Anytime anybody does not resist, does not matter what their skin color is, if the person's not resisting and the person's basically got his hands behind his back and basically have been in cuffs. Once you got the person in cuffs, put the person in the back of the squad car and take them downtown. There's no reason to be, putting your full force weight on a person's body, especially anything above the shoulders. Why would you want to put your knee, let alone your full force weight, on somebody who's already been detained and on the ground? Most people, you put them on the ground, you put cuffs on them, and you don't even have to put your foot, knee, leg, whatever on the person. You got them on the ground, and you got them basically held down in place by your own hand. 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna struggle. They're just gonna sit there and go, "That ain't nothing I can do. I'm in cuffs. He's right here on. He's right here next to me with his hand holding the cuffs or holding my wrist or whatever." You don't realize. I mean, it's simple. You want to immobilize somebody without doing damage to them? You grab their wrist in a certain position and press your thumb on a certain nerve, not even cutting off circulation to the hand, but just the nerve. That person is pretty much immobilized because it's putting enough pain and pressure through that nerve that is literally causing the whole arm and most of their upper body to basically be immobilized. Um, you can hold a person up here on their shoulder. Take your thumb right here against the collarbone. I'm trying to find that spot without hurting myself. There's a spot right around the collarbone. Has nothing to do with blood vessels or blood veins. It won't cut off circulation of the blood. But you press on that, and you press just right, it's going to cause so much pain that they're literally going to be crippled from the pain. And you're not really doing anything to put them in fatal circumstances. I mean, the military teaches self-defense and teaches certain techniques to immobilize or to basically deal with an assailant without killing them. Um, China, Japan, Korea, a lot of the Asiatic countries, they teach martial arts and they teach points in the body that if you hit those points just right, you won't kill them, but you'll put them on the ground. I'm just saying, learn. But it's a sad, tragic thing that had to happen. And I mean, it's bad enough that a good portion of the country was a powder keg waiting to go off because of COVID. Then this had to happen. So what happened because of the whole Floyd situation? It basically caused that powder keg to explode, and that's basically what we're seeing. We're seeing results of stress caused by a medical condition, a pandemic that basically should have put us into, I don't want to say forced quarantine like some other countries like the UK and Norway and Germany and Africa. I've even heard of cases in Asia where they were so wanting to basically keep this from becoming a full fledged pandemic, which unfortunately it did. And the governments were finally saying quarantine, forced quarantine. Anything of non essential situation shut down. Um, After a certain time of the day, you couldn't leave your home. You basically needed to stay home. Um, I heard that somebody in South Africa said that their ruling body, their government, basically said quarantine. You can't leave your property. You can go outside your house and walk around your property, but you couldn't leave it. Which is kind of like, well, depending on how close property lines are, even if the property lines were close together, like right on top of each other, as long as you followed social distancing guidelines and said stayed 6 feet apart, you could have stood outside and talked to your neighbor who stood in his yard and was still, far enough away. It's one of those things where it's like, I understand what a lot of countries did. In fact, a lot of countries are already pretty close to being back to normal. I mean, they're still doing social distancing and masks and whatnot, but they're not like so. Somebody showed a graph of the various countries and how they're dealing with how the COVID COVID situation happened, and one of them I think was just a total joke, but they were showing how most countries had this incline, and then at the top of the incline it was steady across the board and then dropped. While here in the States it's like roller coaster, and it's because, well, I personally think it's because of the fact that too many people did not follow CDC guidelines. Now I can understand you can't force people to wear masks and whatnot, at least here in the States. But come on, people. If this is a situation that is affecting the globe, let's do our part. Let's wear our masks. I know a lot of people are saying that masks are a one-time use. Yeah, there are some masks that are one-time use. I have a bunch of them at work that we basically use. Um, the mask that I have, it has a active charcoal carbon filtration system, which is, you know, it it's a little thin thing, but you can see the charcoal in it, and it slips inside the mask. And when I get home, I pull it out, throw it away, put in a new one. I don't wear my mask all the time right now because of bronchial asthma and seasonal crud. I can only wear a mask for so long before it is difficult to breathe and I have to take it off. And the thing is, mask or no mask, one, we don't know who has it. Now, for the most part, the mask is not to protect you from what's coming in, because even just a simple double layered cloth mask has flaws. For the most part, I wear it because of my medical issues. I don't want people to think that every time I cough or every time I sneeze or when my nose starts to run and I have to step back and blow my nose or whatnot, I'm contaminated. I do it basically so if I have to sneeze or cough while dealing with customers, that sneeze or that cough does not spread whatever contaminants might be in my system that I don't know about. I haven't had any symptoms, haven't had any signs of being contaminated, knock on wood. Um, but I don't know what the person coming in is breathing in and out. Um, Before this whole COVID situation, I see people coming in and they are like, hands are filthy. They look like they just came from the garage or came from the woods and been cutting wood all day or whatnot. I don't know why I can't sit there and go, you need to leave or clean up your hands because I don't know what you've got. I can't do that. But at the same time, it's like I'm working in an environment. In fact, a lot of places have, because of money being the dirtiest thing we handle every day. A lot of companies won't take cash. I even had a couple people come in and go, "Do you take cash?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" "Oh well, place up the road won't take cash. They only take card." And I'm like, "I can understand why, but that's that company's choice." I know it sounds really bad when I get cranky about people who aren't attempting to follow some of the CDC guidelines like social distancing. The mask and the gloves, that's a personal choice. But social distancing, the main reason why social distancing is because if you're on top of the person in front of you or the person behind you is practically on top of you, we don't know what you're breathing. We don't know what kind of ailments or whatnot, diseases, bacteria, whatnot, are floating in your breath, in your body, coming out of your body through your breathing. That's the reason for the social distancing. But that's enough of that rant. I am semi sure that most of you by now probably turned off this video. That's your choice. But for those of you who stood by and listened to the whole thing, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, of course, sometimes I do what I do, that rant and whatnot, before I get to some good stuff, is to weed out those who don't care. You might not totally care, or you might not be happy about some of the things I have to say. That's fine. Um, I'm not perfect. I don't even try to fake it. Um, Last time I tried to fake being perfect, I ended up having more problems than what it was worth. Um, so I don't even know what time it is because I don't have my watch on. But I want to end this because this one right here is already 22 minutes, and I don't remember how long the first part was. But anyhow, ooh, interesting. June 2nd, today's devotional is called Feeling Insignificant with a question mark. And it says to read Psalms 139, verse 7 to 16. And it says, I will praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That was verse 14. Just a brief glance at that. Basically, The question in the book, or the question of the day is, am I significant? Yes, there are 7+ billion people on this planet, and we are just a speck of dust on the surface of the planet, so to speak. And I don't mean to sound like I'm belittling anybody. The point I'm trying to get to is, out of all the people on this planet, and we question our significance, and I know I do on a regular basis. Thing is, we may feel insignificant in the numerous odds and the numerous things that happen. We have people on this planet that are brilliant scientists and authors and artists of one form or another, and because of their achievements, there we go, their achievements, we as individual regular folk, not so smart, not talented or anything like that, might think we're not significant. Well, you'd be wrong, because every single life, every single person has a significant role in the grand scheme of things, whether we think our role is penny ante or petty or not that important. Well, no. Everybody, that we do, everything you do is important in one way or another. Whether it's important to a spouse, a child, a sister, a brother, an aunt, uncle, a parent, you're significant to those people. My job, I might think sometimes, is not that significant because I'm just a cashier at a gas station. No, I don't know how many people come in, whether they're regulars or not, that if I wasn't there, if a gas station or an attendant for the gas station wasn't doing their job, where would that person get their road snacks or their gas or things like that? That and the fact that I have people who come in, my regulars, who come in on a regular basis for cigarettes, lottery, gas, soda, chips, whatever they come in for on that particular day. I got two gentlemen, or no, three gentlemen who are regulars who come in, if not every other day, every day for lottery. They're ex-military. I get along with them because, in fact, I understand the military mindset. Um, I have, well, right where my store is sitting, I have a nursing home, a behavioral health clinic, a senior living home within walking distance, basically, of where I work. And a lot of those employees come in during their break for a snack, something to drink, pack of cigarettes. If I wasn't there, they would have to get in their car and drive up the road to the next gas station. So I know that even though my role might seem insignificant to some people because of the factor of who they are, or where they live, or what their financial settings are, whatever their reasons are, they might not think I'm significant because I'm not a business owner, I'm not a millionaire or a billionaire or a life altering scientist or anything like that. The what I like to call the big wig rear echelon, not rear echelon, the frontliners. Now I'm not saying that I'm not a frontliner. I'm not saying that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, frontliners would be the medical field, the EMTs, the fire department, the police department, our military personnel. They're the frontliners. Because without them, without the military, our country could get invaded or taken over. Um, our medical conditions can get worsened because we don't have somebody in the medical field who cares enough to take care of those who need care. Um, our country could burn down because we don't have a fire department. Um, Criminal activities and things of that nature can run amok because we don't have a police force. Now, I'm not saying everybody who is in those fields are angels. There are bad seeds in every batch. Unfortunately, those bad seeds seem to spoil the barrel because they're just rotten. And they're causing the whole barrel to rot. There's always some idiot who wants to do something stupid because they think they can get away with anything because they're a cop. Or that they can go burn something down because they're a police officer. Or they can let people who need help die because the person in ER room 1 is a rich person and they got to take care of that rich person because that rich person who can get care from anybody anywhere at any time is what pays the bills. No, I'm sorry. We all swore an oath of one form or another when we took certain jobs, especially the military and the police and the fire department and the nurses. They all have Hippocratic oaths. I think that's right. Or is that just in the medical field? But still, our significance may seem minute for those who don't have the big important jobs. But what a lot of people don't realize is that even those who have the small, what seem like insignificant jobs, are a cog in a giant machine called America. Unfortunately, some of the cogs don't work properly. Um, some of them are breaking down. The system is not perfect. But the thing is, the significancy of the system is what's important. So we all are significant. There is no such thing as a insignificant person or insignificant job. So the question of am I significant? Yes, we are. Yes, you are. Might not always like the significance of what we do, but there's always a group of people who are appreciative of even the smallest significant thing. Anyhow, I'm going to sign off and try to combine two videos. It's probably going to be 40 plus minutes, and I'm sorry. I was having technical difficulties of one form or another. And for those of you who are like, edit, 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 edit. No, 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 no. I've explained it to you multiple times. I don't edit because I feel editing causes falsehood. And you lose out, when you edit, you lose out bits and pieces that may or may not be important to you, but somebody might think it is. So, the only editing I'm going to do is attach the first part to the second part because when I had my technical difficulty, my camera decided to stop working. I might have probably hit the button the wrong way. But anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment box. I appreciate most of your comments. Those of you who are deconstructive instead of constructive kind of irritate me, but I still read them. If you have friends or family who are interested in the content of this video, give them a chance. Suggest to them to watch the video, and if they decide that they want to see more, they can tap the bell, and YouTube will let them know, as well as those who are already members of this insanity. get notified that I put in a new one. Until next time, be safe. God bless. Have a good day. Bye.